सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर नकार मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप God सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप God सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भव निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह Thank you to everyone that's come. Apologies माफ़ी की थोड़ी लेट स्टार्ट किया so getting straight in there, starting with Saki time first. So Saki time पिछले हफ्ते किन्हें की थी और छोटी कुड़ी ने की थी is she here today? Is she? Oh yeah, she did Saki time last week and she covered the Saki the information the Saki बारे देती थी उन्हें सानू and आ हफ्ते फिर Prabhu Singh ने क्या उन्हें Saki लेके आनी है साडे लिए he was going to bring a Saki first so I'm going to pass it over to him so he can share the Saki with us and then ਉਹ ਤੋਂ जो भी ਤੁਸੀਂ आपके जीवन ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ लेके आ सकते हो to make a change in your life then do take that teaching on but we will discuss it at the end anyway and then we'll go on to Guru Nanak Dev Maharaj Jivan so I'm going to pass it over to Prabhu Singh so you can share with us and Prabhu Singh who is this Saki about?
Saki is about the Shihdi of Baba Deep Singh Ji.
Nice and loud, yeah? So tell me.
During the invasion of India, Ahmad Shah Duri annexed Punjabi to his Afghan dominance and appointed son Tamur Shah Viceroy at Lahore with the Lieutenant General Jahan Khan as his deputy. Jahan Khan invaded Amritsar in May 1757. He razed the Sikh fortress of Ramgarh and he defiled the scarred pool. Although he was 75 years old, he still had the strength of a young warrior. He gathered a large group of Sikhs and advanced towards city of Amritsar. By the time they had reached the village of Taran, about 10 miles away from Amritsar, their numbers had risen up to about 5,000. At this time, Baba Deep Singh Ji drew a line on the ground with his khanda and asked those who were willing to fight and die across the line. All the Sikhs had assembled across the line eagerly. Baba Deep Singh Ji decided, "Jo tum prem kahan ka jao, Sri Gari meri aao," which means those who wish to play the game of love and follow the Sikh path, come to me with your head in your palm. Maharaj said which means if you wish your feet to travel this path, don't delay in accepting to give your head. When the news of Baba Deep Singh Ji's intentions reached Jahan Khan, he immediately mobilized an army of 20,000 men and proceeded forwards to Taran. Baba Deep Singh Ji army intercepted Jahan Khan's forces were near the village Govindawal, about 5 miles from Umkar. At this point was a clash between the opposition forces. Baba Deep Singh Ji fought with his sword 15 kg and about 32 pounds Kanda. Each Sikh fought with such valor and courage that the enemy was almost defeated. During the Midas battle, a large reinforcement arrived for Jahan Khan's men, turning the odds against the Sikhs. Yet the Sikhs, with Baba Deep Singh Ji as their head, continued fighting and advanced towards Umritsar. During the clash, one of the Mughals commanders, Jawar Khan, attacked Baba Deep Singh Ji. As they fought, they swung their weapons with great force, leaving both of their heads separated from their bodies. After seeing a scene of a young Sikh warrior called out Babaji, reminding him of his vow to meet Sri Harmandir Sahib. Upon hearing this, Baba Deep Singh Ji immediately stood up, his served head upright on his left arm, while holding his kandar in his right hand. He then continued fighting with strength derived from the recitation of Japji Sahib and moving towards Sri Harmandir Sahib. Upon seeing the sight of Baba Deep Singh Ji's headless body, two their numbers. Most of the men and the Mughal army fled away in terror. Baba Deep Singh Ji was able to continue fighting and fulfill his oath on reaching Sri Harmandir Sahib. There he bowed and laid his head on the platform of his scarred Gurdwara, which means that the Sikh army continued fighting the fleeing Mughals until victory was achieved. Baba Deep Singh Ji is remembered by all the Sikhs as a brave, courageous Rotary with unflinching dedication to Sikh principles. His shrines and commemorating the Rotary, one of the terrains of Sarovar surrounding the Harmandir Sahib, where he finally fell, and the other Sri Granj, Baba Deep Singh Ji Sahib, Gurdwara Ramsar, where his body was created. The places where Baba drew the line of engaging battle. He threw his head, and where it landed are all marked by Gurdwaras in Punjab. Baba Deep Singh Ji's actions encouraged the Sikhs to continue fighting against the Franco and opposite Mughal Empire for many years. Even today, his life serves as an example for all Sikhs on how to live and die with dignity.
Really good. So, what do you learn from Baba Deep Singh Ji's life?
So you should always have faith in him, even though there's a lot of people on the other side.
So never be scared. Good. Anything else that you can take from their life? No? Anyone else? What can you learn from Baba Deep Singh Ji's Jivan? So, and you,
Like that, if you wanted to die and you're in a pain, like you said, and your heart can be good.
wicked, really good. So you should rely on your Nitnem, Japji Sahib, because Baba Deep Singh Jivan Siga, or Japji Sahib the part. They used to do more than 100 Japji Sahibs a day. Nitnem both see one another. What really good, that's really good. What else? Anyone else?
That point when they draw the line and ask the Saints to wanna commit to this, we then cross this line, and it's don't cross that line. It's kind of a symbol that when we give our head to the Guru, we need to have like full commitment, not like kacha pakka kamera. It has to be like 100%.
Yeah, really good, really good. And also then ਜਦੋਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ Baba Deep Singh line ਖਿੱਚੀ ਸੀਗੀ, not one person said that no, I want to go back. They all crossed over. ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ line ਪਾਰ ਕਰਕੇ Baba Deep Singh ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਫਿਰ. Baba Deep Singh ਜੀ ਜੀਵਨ ਤੋਂ ਸੁਣੀਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕੈਂਪ ਵਿੱਚ in a Sikhi camp, a child asked us, we had a Q&A session, ਸਵਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ, and ਇੱਕ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਨਾਲ why is everyone against the Sikhs? So ਉਹਦਾ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਸਾਂ, we've been through so many genocides, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ land movement, ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ throughout our whole life, ਹੈ ਨਾ, throughout Sikh, ਕਿੰਨਾ we've always fought against tyranny, and he said, he goes, why don't they like the Sikhs? Why are they always against the Sikhs? So this question pucha hai chote bacche ne ki why are they against the Sikhs, and I thought it was a brilliant question that he asked. Ode man vich hoga ki why are we always constantly talking about that, we're having to fight for this, we're protesting for this, we're doing this, we're doing that, and then I remember this Baba Deep Singh di sakhi jehdi hai ki jadon Ahmad Shah Abdali was invading India, looting it, kidnapping women and taking back to Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, wherever, to go and sell them. The only people that would stop Ahmad Shah Abdali's forces, Ahmad Shah Abdali di Fauj, koi aur kisi ne nahi roki. No one else dared to stop them. It was only Punjab, it was only the Singhs that stopped. So for that reason, that's why we always had that thing that people were always against the Sikhs. Ki ehi hai jehde khad ke then dat ke khad jande a, ehi ne ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੁਕਾਬਲਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ. No one else fights back, ਇਹੀ ਨੇ. So from that we learned that, we learn Baba Deep Singh ji, no matter what, if it's wrong, always stand up against injustice happening, ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੋਵੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ. And ਬਾਕੀ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਆ ਕਿ Baba Deep Singh ਨੇ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਸੀਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੜੇ, they fought without their head. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਹਮਾਰਾ Baba Deep Singh ਨੇ ਕੋਟ ਦਿਖਾਇਆ that the power of a saying, the power of Gurbani was there, है ना. So it's a wicked Sakhi of Baba Deep Singh. The other thing that I learned from Baba Deep Singh is Sakhi is that you're never too old, and I never think that ki umar de saab naal hi sara kuch. Baba Deep Singh di umar kinni sigi fer bhi ਉਹਨੇ ਜੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ, ਐਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਕਦੇ ਸੋਚੇ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਉਮਰ ਲੰਘ ਗਈ ਆ, ਹੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੋਣਾ, ਵਰਨਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ ਨਾਈਟ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਚੋਂ ਗੁਰਮੁਖੀ ਹੁਣ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ. They start to learn Gurmukhi now, and at an adult age, but that's wicked, that's really good. You should never think that on my time Nangya or not, but take it from Baba Deep Singh Sakhi. But well done for that, really good, smashed it, really good. Who would like to volunteer for next week? I saw a hand go straight away and I had to jadhi khada ho gaya. Said yeah, Hardev Singh can bring a Sakhi for us next week. Thank you so much for that. So he'll share the Sakhi with us next week then. Let's move on to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Jeevan, and then we'll do a Q&A, and then we'll call it a day. So I'm going to warn everyone now कि entertainment मिलूगी थोनों सारे नो है ये आज हैगी है अजीत कौर आई हुई है नाल. So just try and ignore her, or just let her do whatever she wants to do. Try not to think, try to focus still on this, So moving on to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Jeevan. Quick recap from last week. So recap कर दें last week तो कि Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, Bhai Mardana Ji, Bhai Bala Ji Smer Parvat to उतर गए. The meeting did various different sids, various different bhagats, bhagati kar rahe ne, and they come across Bhagat Prahlad Ji, Bhagat Prahlad Ji सारी जीवन कथा वो आप दसते ने. They tell Guru Sahib Ji, Bhai Bala Ji, Bhai Mardana Ji सारा कुछ दसते ने, and then वो आगे चल पंदे आ, फिर आगे तुरदे आ, and then आगे जो तुरदे आ, ये जी धरती आ, this place, this आजा थां आ कश्मीर दे कोल आ, स्मेर पर्वत है ना, ਉੱਥੇ ਭਾਈ ਮਰਦਾਨਾ ਜੀ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਨੇ. ਭਾਈ ਮਰਦਾਨਾ ਜੀ ask, they say ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਹੋਰ ਇਹਦਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਦੱਸੋਗੇ, ਇਹਦਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਦਾ, ਇੱਥੇ ਹੋਰ ਭਗਤ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, what's the whole story behind this place, ਹੈ ਨਾ. And we learnt in great deal about Harnakas. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਰਹਿਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ, their name comes in ਰਹਿਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ, ਭਗਤ ਪ੍ਰਹਲਾਦ ਜੀ ਦਾ, ਹਰਨਾਕਸ ਦਾ. So ਸਾਰੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਣੀ ਸੀਗੀ. And then Bhai Mardana Ji goes, can you tell us about any others that have come into this place? Guru Sahib Ji said, it's written, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪੁਰਾਣਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ, I will tell you. And then they started saying ਕਿ once upon a time ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਿਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਇੱਥੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਖੋਲ ਕਸ਼ਯਪ ਰਿਸ਼ੀ. ਇਹ ਨਾ ਸਤਯੁਗ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਆ, ਸਤਯੁਗ, the age of truth. Yeah, so there's 4 ages, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, Kaljug. ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਲਯੁਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, and each age is lasted over thousands and thousands of years, thousands of years. सतयुग ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਇਆ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਰਿਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕਸ਼ਯਪ ਰਿਸ਼ੀ, and ਉਹਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਜਗ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਜਗ means where you stay up all night doing puja ਪਾਠ, and he wanted to do that in the name of Shivji, ਕਿ ਸ਼ਿਵਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਜਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ। He was happy with it, he wanted to do it, ਖੁਸ਼ ਸੀਗਾ, he was excited, ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਰਾਤ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਪੂਜਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਸ਼ਿਵਜੀ ਦੀ। Because ਉਹ ਸਮਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ that time was like an important time, and you got a lot of fun if you did puja of Shivji. And this Kashyap Rishi, Jara Rishi, said he had 4 wives. From one of them, the Devte were born, and from one of the other ones, the Dans were born. One of the wives could not have children, and she was always jealous. So I left it there last week, and what's going to happen next? So Guru Sahib ji sara das rahe ne Bhai Mardana ji nu ah sari katha Bhai Mardana ji nu puchya, so Bhai Mardana ji nu das rahe ne Bhai Mardana Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj are going to tell the whole katha of how it came about, how the Devi Devs, the dance all came about, and that was mentioned in Dasam Bani, Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj Bani which we on there, and throughout Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Guru Bani which we Maharaj have always used very different examples of certain Devi Devs, certain Bhagats where we take teachings from. So let's do Ostatam Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and we'll continue on the journey and see where Maharaj is going to take us today. Gyan dhyan kish karm na jana, sar na jana teri, sabte vadda Satguru Nanak, jin kal rakhi meri. Sabte vadda Satguru Nanak, jin kal rakhi meri. So the wife, she does a benti to her husband Kashyap Rishi, the Jara Rishi hoya, and she says कि तुसी कृपा करो, do कृपा on me. I wish to have a child also. I wish to have a child. मैं बच्चा, I want a बच्चा as well. Bless me with a son. Kashyap Rishi then said, कि seeing your love for me, I will grant you this boon. But let this evening pass. Let this night pass. Then I will bless you with it. Because this night was important to do puja of Shivji. कि Shivji की पूजा करने सीगी, वो जरूरी सीगा. So you know, we need to focus on that. This evening is a scary evening, he said. Kashyap Rishi कहता है बहुत भयानक संध्या दा समय, because Shivji is roaming around this land with Utpret, with ghosts and demons, and he's rubbed ash all over himself. ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਤਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਏਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, and then they do puja to Shivji, and he's explaining, saying that his 3 eyes are open. So ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਚੇਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਰੱਖੋ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਭਾਈ ਮਰਦਾਨਾ ਜੀ ਭਾਈ ਬਾਲਾ ਜੀ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, they're saying all this, है ना? It's not our own words or anything like that, है ना? So his Guru Sahib ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਭਾਈ ਮਰਦਾਨਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ so Kashyap Rishi ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਵਾਈਫ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ his 3 eyes are open. One represents Agni, fire, one represents Suraj, the sun, and one represents the moon. This evening is time to do his puja, and now is not the time to talk about having a baby. And if the time is not right, then our son will not be good either. So we should be on Shivji's good side in a sense. When she heard this from her husband, she ignored it. She ignored it. She didn't care. I just want a kid, I just want a child. So she didn't care. So she grabbed her husband's jawline and she carried on begging her husband, saying that, look, I want a baby, I want a baby. So he gave in, and then they conceived a baby. After this, he continued his puja for Shivji after that. But the wife had regret. And she said that I should have just listened to my husband first, and now that my child should remain safe. कि फिर उन्हें जाके बेनती की Kashyap Rishi ਨੂੰ फिर कि मेरा बच्चा जो है वो safe होना चाहिए, he should be always safe. I hope Shivji doesn't say anything wrong in anger, कि वो कुछ गलत ना कह दे मैनू. We will do namaskar on his charan. Then she does an ardas to Shivji, or Shivji nu ardas karti, saying, I made a mistake, please forgive me, but please don't get angry. Kashyap Rishi फिर कहता कि तू अनजान है, you're ignorant. तू अनजाने विच तू ये कीता है, you have to face the consequences now. You will have 2 sons now, and they will both, उन्हां दा सख्त स्वभाव होगा. They'll have a lot of growth in them. They'll be angry. So Kashyap Rishi ने वचन करता कि तेरे जो बच्चे आ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਸਖਤ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਦੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ, they will give dukh to everyone and they will do a lot of paap as well. And to destroy them, Vishnu will take on a form and fight them. Vishnu will kill them, all because you conceived in this wrong time or in evening time. You will, but at the same time, you will have a grandson, however, who will be a Bhagat. Oh, Bhagat hoga, and he will be very wise, because you had regret. Because ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਛਤਾਵਾ ਸੀ, so ਤੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੇਰੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਆ, but at the same time you had regret. That's why Bhagat Prahlad ji will be born into your family. She then got happy. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਮਿਲੀ ਕਿ my sons will get killed by Vishnu, someone really great. ਕਿ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਹੱਥੋਂ ਮਰੂਗਾ, ਪਰ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪੂਜਨਯੋਗ ਆ, ਜੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਹੱਥੋਂ ਮਰਿਆ ਫਿਰ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਜੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਹੱਥੋਂ ਮਰਨਗੇ, ਐਂਡ ਮੇਰਾ ਪੋਤਾ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਭਗਤ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਇੱਕ, my grandson will be a Bhagat. After a while, the sons of Kashyap Rishi were about to be born. The Devi Devte in their realms got together and went to Brahma. They said ki Maharaj ji, to Brahma, that there's a soul that's not even been born yet, but will cause a lot of pain in this world. Brahma then said, ਉਹਨੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਬ੍ਰਹਮਾ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇਹ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਲਾਈਕ ਸਾਰੀ ਸਾਖੀ ਦੱਸੀ ਕਿ my 4 sons, Sanak, Sanandan, ਦੋ ਹੋਰ I missed their names because the recording wasn't that clear, but Sanak, Sanandan ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬ੍ਰਹਮਾ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ. They went to meet Vishnu ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਮਿਲਣ ਗਏ, the god stopped them. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਰੇਦਾਰ ਸੀਗੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਦੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰੋਕਤਾ ਬ੍ਰਹਮਾ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਨੂੰ, saying that you can't go further. The sons, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, they had a lot of bhakti, they had a lot of shaktiyan, so ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਪੂਰੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੀ, their ਬਚਨ whatever they said would become true. The sons cursed the gods and said, you have the mentality of a dance, and now you will have to go into the earth and live as dance too. And the gods' names were Jay and Vijay, and are the names of the gods. They're 2 brothers. They begged the sons of Brahma for forgiveness. Sanak Sanandan ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਹਨਤਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਤੋਂ ਗਲਤੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬਚਨ ਪੂਰੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੇ ਆ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਫ ਕਰੋ. They asked, how long will you have to live like this? How long will you have to go onto the earth like this? The sons of Brahma see the Nimrata in the Jay and Vijay, and they say, you will go onto the earth, go and do Raj on earth. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਰਾਜ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ. Vishnu will then come and destroy you. You will have to be born 3 times. 3 ਵਾਰੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਨਮ ਲੈਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ. One birth you're going to have to do is as Harnakas and Hiranyakashipu. So these are 2 brothers. ਜਿਹੜੇ 2 ਭਰਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹਰਨਾਕਸ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਭਰਾ ਹਿਰਨਕਸ਼ਪ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਜਨਮ ਸੀਗਾ. ਇੱਕ ਜਨਮ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਊਗਾ ਰਾਵਣ ਐਂਡ ਕੁੰਭਕਰਨ. ਸੋ ਰਾਵਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਰਾਵਣ ਕੌਣ ਸੀਗਾ, ਐਂਡ ਰਾਵਣ ਦਾ ਭਰਾ ਕੁੰਭਕਰਨ. One birth you're going to have to come down as is Kans and Kisi. Kans was Ramchandra ji's mama, and he was told by someone, kisne ਉਹਨੂੰ Kans ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ your death will happen by the hands of your nephew, your sister's son. So we're not going to go into that much detail into that whole Sakhi of how that happens and stuff like that. Mahabharat ਸਾਰਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਿ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ, how he was played it, he imprisoned his sister. ਕਿ ਜਦ ਵੀ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮਾਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕੰਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ, and then in the end ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ Ramchandra ji got saved, and then he grew up and then he did kill Kans in the end, है ना. So Krishna Bhagwan ਸੀ, ਉਹ Krishna Bhagwan ਸੀ ਕੰਸ ਮਾਮਾ ਹੋਇਆ, sorry Krishna, not Ramchandra ji, Krishna ਦਾ ਮਾਮਾ ਹੋਇਆ. And but we're not going to go into so much detail on that, but being born 3 times and then coming back again. So I remember other people asking me as well, and a few of the kids and other people asking me कि 3 ਜਨਮ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਇਆ. ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ I was at work, and ਉੱਥੇ there was a lot of like Hindus, ਉੱਥੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ they started talking about ਰਾਵਣ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੇ ਸੀ, and ਜੋ ਰਾਵਣ ਨੂੰ ਫੂਕਦੇ ਨੇ every year they do that, ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਉਹ ਦੁਸਹਿਰੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ during ਦੁਸਹਿਰਾ. They'll burn Ravan, and then they celebrate the whole thing. And she was saying, like, I was saying, why do you do that? मैं पूछता सीगा उन्होंने कि काते करते हैं. And then they started saying that because he was evil. Ravan evil सीगा, Ravan ने ऐसा किया उतना किया. And then I told him that this is what the story is about Ravan. I don't know if you know or not, but he's the Peredar of Vishnu. And she was shocked. She like, I didn't know that at all, है ना. But इथों पता लगता है कि where Harnakas was come from, Ravan came from, because Harnakas is mentioned, Ravan is mentioned in Gurbani as well. Vishnu heard about this and came running. ਉਹ ਨੱਠ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ. He came running to the doors. Brahma's sons saw this. Brahma ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਭੱਜੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨੰਗੇ ਪੈਰੀ, because and Brahma's sons saw the love that Vishnu had for his gods, Jay and Vijay. Because Jay ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੋ ਭਰਾ ਸੀ, they had a lot of love for Vishnu. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਭਗਤ ਸੀ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਦੇ, and they always remembered Vishnu. The sons asked for forgiveness. Brahma ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਸੀਗੇ, they asked for forgiveness. Vishnu then said that this all happened according to what I wanted, according to how I wanted anyway. Brahma told all this to the Devi Devta. Devi Devta ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ Brahma ਕਿ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਏਦਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ. The whole story of how dance came into this world, and said that don't be scared, Vaheguru will protect you. Dance caused a lot of dukkha to everyone. ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਰਾਵਣ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ, ਹਰਨਾਕਸ਼ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਦੁੱਖ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ. They were really evil people, ਹੈ ਨਾ. And when the dance, ਜਦੋਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਦੈਂਤਾ ਦਾ ਰਾਜ ਸੀਗਾ, many earthquakes, many tsunamis, everyone living in constant fear, many storms, trees being ripped out of roots, animals dying, jungles getting set on fire. The whole sansar was dukhi. Sara sansar dukhi si jo denta da raj siga. Guru Sahib ji das rahe ne. And when this tends to happen, jado eda ho janda atte aa janda na dukh, jehda paap hunda hai, when paap gets right to the top, na, where it's so much, where people lose hope, that's when this happens. Vaheguru will come down to balance it out again. And ਇਸੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj ਦਾ ਵੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੋਇਆ. ਜਦੋਂ ਤਨ Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj ਜਦੋਂ ਆਏ, at that time it was really bad. ਉਹ ਸਮਾਂ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਾੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ. ਉਹ ਸਮਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਕ brothers would kill brothers, Hindus would kill Hindus, Musliman would kill Musliman. ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ, ਪਾਪ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਡਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ. It was so bad at that time when Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj ਆਏ, because Maharaj had to do. ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ 'ਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਪਖੰਡ ਪੂਰਾ ਸੀਗਾ. so much ਪਖੰਡ happening, which in today's day and age happens as well. ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਪਖੰਡ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, where people be fake, ਕਿ ਨਕਲੀ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਗਲਤ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਖੰਡ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ. ਪਖੰਡ is one of the biggest sparks you can do, ਕਿ ਉੱਪਰੋਂ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ, ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ. We should always do that ਬੇਨਤੀ to Maharaj ਕਿ Maharaj ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਖੰਡ ਤੋਂ ਬਚਾ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਿਓ, because doing pakhand is easy. ਉਹ ਸੌਖਾ ਹੈ ਕਰਨਾ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. Because why? If you do pakhand in front of someone, ਥੋੜੀ ਜੈ ਹੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ. People will respect you. People start bigging you up to your face anyway, and that feeds your ego. ਥੋੜੀ ego ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੱਧ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, and you like it, and then you're just going to carry on doing that pakhand, ਹੈ ਨਾ. But Maharaj ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ ਕਿ we always say truth, no matter what. If you are good or bad, ਆਪਾਂ ਸੱਚੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਆ. And then everyone always lives in constant fear. ਸਾਰਾ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਦੁਖੀ ਸੀਗਾ. Guru Sahib Ji explaining all this to Bhai Mardana Ji as they had asked to tell the history of this place. After telling Bhai Mardana Ji the history, they continued on the journey and went to the next place. Gahan age jaake turde ne. Before starting the next part of this itihas, Kavi Santokh Singh Ji ustat karde Vaheguru Ji, and they say ki Vaheguru is beyond that. You can't even do katha on Vaheguru. You can't even say ki Vaheguru edde badde ne. You can't do that. It is impossible to say Vaheguru is this. You can't put a measurement on it. No amount. ऐसा कर नहीं सकते क्योंकि महाराज वाहिगुरु बेअंत ने. उसी तरह गुरु साहिब जी बेअंत ने. Listening to the next list, भाई बाला जी कहते ने गुरु अंगद देव जी महाराज ਨੂੰ कि हे महाराज अगली कथा जो होनी आ वो जो होने लगी महाराज तुसी अगे सुनो की होगा ਹੁਣ. Then भाई बाला जी कहते कि we left this place. इथों ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਰ ਪਏ. We started to walk. As we were walking, it got dark. नेरा हो गया. And we looked into the sky and we couldn't see any stars in the sky. Nera hi siga, it was like where would all the stars gone? Ki tare kithe chal gaye? Bhai Mardana Ji fir Maharaj ne puchya ki Maharaj aap kithe aa gaye si? Where have we come? There's no stars here. Ithe koi tara disda hi nahi hega. We can't see any stars, but yet we can still see there's a light coming from somewhere. Ki roshni aji bhi aa rahi hai kitno kito. Ek jagah keho ji hai? What kind of place is this? Guru Sahib Ji then said, Mardana, you're looking in the wrong direction. To say thaan dekh, look below and you will see the stars. Meaning that it goes, tare sade thale ne, way below, way above the stars. There's only one star that's higher than us, and that's the true tara. ਜਿਹੜਾ through ਤਾਰਾ ਆ that you can see shining. And ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ Maharaj is setting the scene to prove a point, to make everyone understand how special Bhagats are, how special Sant Mahapurukhs are, how special that is, because they're kind of emphasizing on the point that jitho roshni aa rahi hai, that light is coming from the where Dhruv Bhagat is, and that is through Bhagat. And then Maharaj, he's done a lot of Bhagati, and he has won with Vaheguru. He's won with Vaheguru. Ek ban gaya Maharaj naal. Bhai Mardana ji fir kende Maharaj, tell us about them as well. Tell us about Dhruv Bhagat. We feel like listening to more katha. Ki more katha sanu sunao Maharaj. Then Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj continue walking, and the next place where they're going towards that shining star, and that place is Sachkhand. So again, jithe Maharaj jange Sachkhand hi jange. But before they go there, Guru Sahib Ji start to explain ki who Dhruv Bhagat are. Dhruv Bhagat kaun hoya? Dhruv Bhagat kaun si? Because they also get mentioned in Gurbani. Gurbani vich bhi Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj vich bhi Dhruv Bhagat da naam aunda ya. Bhagat Kabir Ji di Bani vich aunda ya. So Bhagat Kabir Ji ek Bhagat hoye ne. In their Bani they go Ram japyo ji aise Dhruv Prahlad japyo har jaise. Ki if you want to do Simran, ki Simran je karna hai na, ki Dhruv Bhagat mangu karo ya Bhagat Prahlad ji mangu karo. So look at that, they're mentioning these great Bhagats. Ki Simran, if you want to do Simran, if you want to focus on Simran, edda karo jidda unhone ne Simran kita. Bhagat Prahlad ji ne kita, din raat they remember Vaheguru, no matter what happened. We learned from Bhagat Prahlad ji's story ki jidda marji whatever situation they were getting put in, jidda siga Vaheguru will come and save them because they always remembered Vaheguru. It's Vaheguru's duty to protect the Bhagats then. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਟੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ, ਬੇਫਿਕਰ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਜੀਂਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਭਗਤ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, because they're constantly remembering Vaheguru, that ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ they've got this understanding which we haven't got this understanding, right, ਕਿ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ, ਸਾਡੀ ਪਾਲਣਾ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀ ਆ. That's Guru Sahib's responsibility to look after us. But we forget that, and that's when we start getting stressed in life. That's where we start getting anxious, while we start getting depressed, because we think we're in control. But jehde Mahapurukh hunde a, they know that we're not in control, they're not in control, ki Vaheguru sadi rakha karenge, no matter what situation they get put in. So Bhagat Prahlad ji utte kinni bari Harnak ode pita ji ne marne di koshish ਕੀਤੀ, ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਫਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ. They didn't worry about. Bhagat Kabir ji ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, Bhagat Kabir ji ਨਾਲ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਹੋਇਆ, but ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ. Maharaj always protected their Bhagat, and they constantly remind us that this is how it is. And Jai Shaheed Singhania will be saying that same avastha is almost there, that they have that mentality, they have that understanding कि Guru Sahib ji साडी रक्षा करनगे जिद्दां मर्जी आ. Baba Deep Singh ji had that same mentality as well. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਇੰਨਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲਾਈਨ ਖਿੱਚੀ, ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸੀਸ ਲਿਆ, when their cease came off, they had that faith in that ardas कि why Guru Sahib ji will look after me. ਜੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਸੀਸ ਲੈ ਵੀ ਜਾਵੇ, even if my cease comes off, Guru Sahib ji will still look after me. Look at that mentality going right. I see board door there. I'm talking about myself here, by the way. I'm not saying to anyone else. In today's day and age, in that bullshitty door down there, where littlest koi bhi takleef jam musibat, any problem that comes our way, even the littlest problem that comes our way, that we get door down there shitty. But that's the point of listening to it heart, connecting to it heart, because when we go through these problems in our life, then we can handle it much more easier than the next person can. Me and Kapaj were talking about this about 2 weeks ago, and on the way when we went to Birmingham, saying that when we've got this beautiful path of Sikhi, and we've got that little bit of understanding ki if we live in Guru Sahib Ji's will, then it's all good, ki tension nahi hundi. So if something bad happens, edda banda keh na jaise je gurmukh hunde a ki Maharaj da paana hai, chalo koi na, let's just carry on going with it. Whereas no understanding, if you haven't got that understanding, how do they react? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਹਾਲ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ? They start getting stressed, the ਨੀਂਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਖਾਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ, they get so anxious, depressed ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ. ਏਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਾਰਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਫਿਰ. But Maharaj is going to explain to by Mardana ji who Dhruv Bhagat kaun hoye, and then they say that true Bhagat ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹ from childhood would do Simran all the time. In Satyug ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ there was a Raja ਨਾਮ Satrupa. They had 2 sons. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ 2 ਬੱਚੇ ਹੋਏ. And Sangaji, we're going to have to stop there because again, next part is complicated. आगे जो आवेगा ना हम जरा कथा जो आऊगी हम वो काफी it was hard to understand, I had to keep repeating it and running out of time, and I thought like let's do it a little bit of justice and we'll go through it in detail, because मेरे मन में चलता कई बार बहुत होता है when I'm listening to it to tonight to everyone. I think I've thought loads of times, let's just skip this part. Let's just skip this part and go to the next part. Let's just skip it so I can. But then that's not fair. And let's try and keep it as true as we can. जिद्दा कथा चल रही है कवि संतोख सिंह जी सानू दस रहे ने, गुरु साहिब जी सानू दस रहे ने, उदा ही चलूगी. So गुरु साहिब जी भाई मर्दाना जी नू दसदे ने, they explain to भाई मर्दाना जी कि ध्रुव भगत किवें होए, किदां होए, and उन्होंने जाके मिलनगे and सचखंड ਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਅੱਗੇ. What's going to happen? They're going to go to Sachkhand next, which is going to be really interesting. कि सचखंड ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਦਾਂ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਕਿ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਕਿਦਾਂ ਹੋਊਗਾ. Does Bhai Mardana ji, Bhai Balaji go into Sachkhand as well at that point? क्योंकि जितों तक मैंने पता है, I've heard that Bhai Mardana ji weren't allowed to go in. They weren't allowed to go into Sachkhand because Guru Sahib ने कहा तुम ਇੱਥੇ रख कि ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾਵਾਂਗੇ. You're not going to come into Sachkhand. But it was a reason for that. It wasn't because of any other reason. It was a reason कि Maharaj Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Bhai Mardana ji ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ कि I don't want Waheguru to fall in love with you because you're so special. I want to keep you with me. That's why I'm not letting you go into Sachkhand. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj ne tak kiya si. But we'll learn what's going to happen next week. So we'll leave that there. We'll continue that next week. Has anyone got any questions to do with Sakhi, this, or anything generally to do with Sikhi at all in their mind? Have anyone got any questions?
There's another question, really after you mentioned about the three janams of the same brother and
ਹਾਂਜੀ. ਹਾਂ ਹਾਂ.
Yatvan, Sanraman and
ਹਾਂ. So ਤਿੰਨ ਜਨਮ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਰਨਾਕਸ, ਰਾਵਣ ਐਂਡ ਕੰਸ, ਹਨਾ, ਉਹ ਤਿੰਨ ਜਨਮ ਨੂੰ ਧਾਰਨੇ ਪਏ. In another katha I heard कि ਉਹ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ did give an option, and I've mentioned it before. ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਜੈ ਐਂਡ ਜੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਪਹਿਰੇਦਾਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ if you want you go onto the earth and 7 ਜਨਮਾਂ ਲਈ go onto earth for 7 janams, and in each janam you will be my bhagat, you will be my bhagati in each janam, and then or you go down 3 times like Brahma's son said. And then they said, which is the quickest way back to you? कि साना शेती ते रास्ता किद्दां ਅਸੀਂ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਏ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ? And they said ਉਹ ਤਾਂ 3 ਜਨਮ ਹੀ ਆ ਫਿਰ. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹੀ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੋ, so we can come back to you quick. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਸੀਗਾ with Vishnu. They couldn't stay with form far from Vishnu for that long, whereas we might think that why did they opt for the 7 janams to do their bhakti, but they couldn't be separated from Vishnu. That's what I take from that. That's what Gursikhs are like that as well. They can't separate themselves from Guru Sahib Ji for even for 1 second. They can't separate themselves from Waheguru for even 1 second. They are great Mahaprabhu. They're in the same way. They just want to stay connected with Waheguru. But yeah, I mean, like what you're saying, I didn't know that either. How many times have we grown up talking about Ram, Sita, Sara, and Ravan? Ravan was evil. He did this. He did that. सारा कुछ किया, पर हम सिखने को मिलता है कि रावण कौन असल में कौन सीखा उनको, what was he really, हाँ जी. Any other questions anyone's got at all? If not, then we'll call it a day. Let's do a bit of Simran. We'll do a stuff of Guru Sahib Ji. I will do a stuff this time. The kids will do a stuff this time. They're going to lead it. All the kids will do it, yeah. उन्होंने करना है कि पर सिमरन कर लिए थोड़ा सा and we'll do something. Vaheguru 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 Guru ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ
ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧਨ
ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੰਥ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੰਥ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਧਨ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ